back, men, women, and children of all ages. I am the one and only infamous Kentucky Yankee without a doubt. And unfortunately, winter has struck the homestead here in southern Kentucky, but that will not stop us from doing our work. We are going to try and attempt to get this MR50 Honda running today. And hopefully we'll have some good luck. Had to move it over here a little closer to the warmth while I work because I like to be comfortable. Let's see how it goes.
We don't know yet, but hopefully it didn't. Did it clean it?
Yeah, nice, man. It is nice. Woohoo! Super nice. Yeah, Mom?
If you probably left it for 3 days, it'd probably look nicer.
No, it looks good, really good. So check out the inside of that tank after just dumping it out. Look how clean that is. And that little bit of rust in there, I can like put my finger on it and just rub it and it comes off, so it's just like a residue. I'm going to take it outside and pressure wash it. I am thoroughly 100% satisfied with the way this muriatic acid works, and it didn't hurt a thing. It didn't eat it up enough that I would have to worry about it, I don't think. And it's been about a day and a half, 2 days, I'm not positive. But this is a great way to clean this tank out. This tank came out nearly perfect, if you ask me. It's so nice inside of there. Even up to the top, you can feel in there, around there, the top, it's all cleaned up real good because I filled it all the way completely to the top with the acid. Very happy with the way this turned out. A lot of times you use baking soda or something to neutralize the acid, but I just pressure wash it real good with some Dawn soap. I think that's fine. At this point, you would maybe normally seal this tank so that it doesn't rust again, but I'm not going to do that because I may have to sand on it or sandblast it on the outside later when I go to restore this machine. And if I do that and the sealer's on the inside, I think there's a possibility it'll make the sealer peel off from the inside, you know, if you heat the outside of the tank. So I'm not going to do that. Instead, for now, I'm going to put some diesel fuel and maybe a mixture of diesel fuel and oil inside of there, just to keep it from rusting, and then I'll drain that out and we'll put gas in it when we go to start the bike. I cleaned the cap up with lime away. On the inside, I'm going to put this old cork gasket back on there. I'm not thrilled about it, but for now it'll work. That stuff does a good job. Of course, it's really rusted and pitted. I mean, it's not going to get all that off, but it did clean up the rust on the inside good, and that's what's most important right now. It's not coffee, it's diesel and motor oil. And that should coat the inside of the tank nicely until we rinse out, put gas in it, and fire the motorbike up. Time to try and get the carburetor back together. I had to make a bowl gasket right here because I'm too cheap to order one. I just took this big O-ring and this small one and glued it together with crazy glue. This is not that unusual of a thing. They do make O-rings and glue them together with crazy glue. If you're wondering if this is going to work, you're not alone. I too am asking myself the same question. We will find out together after I get this carburetor all put back together. A lot of the times when you get an old motorcycle, other than the carburetors, the gas tank, and all that being stopped up, the exhaust is. Don't neglect to clean out the exhaust pipe and cause yourself a bunch of headaches and work by not checking that. I ordered this new kit here for the twist throttle, and it came with grips. It's actually pretty nice for like 15 bucks, but it doesn't fit. It said it was for an MR50, but it also said it was 7/8 bars, and I knew these bars on this thing were not 7/8. I ordered it anyways because it'll fit on Sidekick's rail. It was late at night. I didn't feel like coming out here in the garage and checking to see what size these bars are. So we're just going to use this old setup. Even though it's broke off, I think it'll work fine. I increased the speed to maximum on this little setting jobber here, this little kid setting dealio. So we can go to max speed. I'm going to smudge a little grease on this bar here, maybe keep it from rusting and make it a little more slippery when I rip it back. Time now for a shout out. This shout out goes to everyone who leaves kind words in my comments every time you see a video. This shout out goes to everyone who hits the like button every video they see. And I think some of you might not think they're the best at the time, but you still hit the like button to support me, and I appreciate that. This shout out goes to everyone who shares my videos. Without you guys doing all of these things, my channel would go nowhere. So I appreciate all of your support, especially you motorcycle folks. You guys have really gotten into these videos. Worried about the spark, I am. Because I keep checking it occasionally while I'm doing this, working on this thing, and it's still coming and going, so I don't have it fixed. That can be frustrating, especially always intermittent problems are frustrating, aren't they? And who knows if this carb is going to leak or not, the way I made that O-ring gasket. I don't think it will. I hope it's not going to, but oh, who knows? Before we go any further and put the petrol tank on here and hook the hoses and stuff up, I need to fix this spark problem. There's something certainly wrong with it. So I'm going to check this switch first, and all I'm doing is taking an ohm meter, and I put the two connectors on there. These wires are going up to the switch. Right now it is on. Now it's off. You can probably hear it beeping, on, off. It's on, off, run, off. So our switch is working. That's just a quick, easy way to check your switch and also to know how this works. If this was unconnected, not disconnected, then it would be open. So you could unhook this switch and it would be fine. You just wouldn't be able to turn it off. I'm gonna check the charge now. I guess you'd call it the charge coming out from the points. Make sure this magneto's working. This doesn't have a battery. So the way I'm gonna do that, I got a test light hooked up to the wire coming out of the points. I'm just gonna ground this side here on the engine, and then I'll kick it over and see if this light, blinks or flashes. You need to make sure that your connector is not grounded to your engine like I just did. That was silly. So this, where you connect it, don't let it lay down against it, because that will be a inaccurate test. So our points are all working correct. We are down to wiring, or this, is it a rectifier maybe? I guess this changes AC, I'm not sure, into DC current. I think that's what that does. So we know it's not the kill switch bad. We know the points and magneto is working correctly. This little bit of wiring we have, maybe there's something wrong with that. I doubt it. Or my bad job coil and condenser, which I don't think it's that. I'm thinking this thing right here is the culprit. I could be wrong. Let's see how this plays out. Don't know if this bike is 6 volts or 12 volts or what, but I got a 12 volt battery hooked up here. The two cables are coming up to the machine. One of them is going to the coil side. The positive is going to the coil wire. The negative is just going to where the coil grounds. So everything's disconnected. These two things are hooked up to the coil and condenser. That's it, because that's the only two wires that comes off of it. When I touch this negative side, the spark plug should pop. When I go beep, beep, see? When I touch that, the spark plug down here should be making a spark. So let's try it. I'm just touch it, let it go. And it's making a spark. As far as I can tell, I really can't. I'm scratching my head. I don't know what's going on here. We have spark. Doesn't really seem hot enough to me. I guess it still could have a problem with the coil or condenser. We've got the rectifier out of the way, so you know it's not being used right now. So I'm not sure what's going on. Gonna dig a little further and see. I think the rectifier is bad. The reason why, let me explain. You know, I've been doing this little series of tests on different things, and it turns out this rectifier right here, it only has 3 wires. I may have already explained this, but anyways, one from the points that basically gives it its signal, and from here it changes it to DC voltage, goes to the coil through this wire, and this one goes to ground. So checking this wire just by putting a test light on it, it doesn't have any, the light won't light up. Okay. So if I unplug the ground here, and all this is a ground to the frame, if I unplug that, then I get a very dim signal here now from this rectifier. What that tells me, and I could be wrong, but I think I'm right, what that tells me is somehow inside of this rectifier, the power that's supposed to be going to the coil is going to ground. So I'm going to have to order a new one, and we'll see if that'll fix it. And I know most of you are thinking, it's that crappy cob job you did on that coil. Time will tell, because I'm going to order a new rectifier, and we will see then. I did get a new chain, and that's 10 feet of chain. The reason I did that is because Kick's little bike over there takes 420 pitch chain too. That's what this is, a 420 pitch. What I should do is clean these sprockets up all real nice and stuff like that, and make it all fancy. You know what's interesting? That chain guard is on backwards. Why on earth would that chain guard be on backwards? Odd. Let me show you what I mean. So I'm not a motorcycle expert, but my thoughts are this thing should be spun around so the chain can go through it. And seems to be in the wrong spot if you ask me. So I may flip that around and see what it looks like. That seems to make more sense to me. It holds the chain in there. Best way to cut a chain? Absolutely not. Did we get the job done? Absolutely. The bearings in this wheel, by the way, feel very good. Nice and smooth. They should be fine. If you get your chain on your sprocket like this, it's easier to put this link in because everything's lined up. There you go. Our little piece here. Flat piece. And again, a quick reminder. This lock goes the direction the chain rotates. If the chain's going this way, beep, 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 then you want this front nose going that direction. If it's the opposite way and it's going this way, something catches it, bloop, it pushes it off. You have lost your chain. There are little lines here on your frame, and there's a little line on your piece right here. And you want to line those up on both sides evenly. And then once it's, you get a line lined up and it's kind of getting snugged up, just keep track of the rotation on each side how you tighten it. Like if you go 1 turn or 2 turns or whatever, I'll show you. So the lines on each side are even. I've got the mark lined up with a second place back on each side. But still the chain's a little droopy. So you want to tighten it up. All you have to do is place your ratchet in the same spot. I got it straight down. Say I want to tighten it up a little bit. I'll just go a quarter of a turn. You see? Now I'll simply go to the other side over here, straight down, like so, like it is. Make it straight down. And just go a quarter of a turn. That way they're both even. Check my chain. We're getting close, but let's go another quarter of a turn. So, let's see. Quarter. That's a little, you know, pretty close. Whoop. And quarter. That keeps it tightening even so your chain's not, you know, your wheel is not off kilter, if you will, so to speak. I'm going to go another. See, I should have went, and I could have went a half a revolution or a whole revolution, whatever you need to do. I just like going a quarter at a time because I'm pretty close right now. That's feeling decent. I kind of like it there. This chain will stretch a little bit. So now I'm just going to go maybe an eighth. Is that an eighth? You get the point. But keep it even. The main thing is keep it even. Now we'll snug this up to specs, whatever those might be. As you folks know, I always like to use a new cotter pin. They're cheap insurance, if you will. A broke cover is better than no cover, so we'll slam her back on there. Was missing a bolt, screw. Anyways, I got this one from Kelly. Kelly, if you watch this videos, thank you very much. I do appreciate that. It's cool having these extra parts. You know what? I'm forgetting a hose for the drain. It goes down through this, down through there, and then you stick the cover on. Runs down right through here. It's a drain for the carburetor. All of these castle nuts were loose on this motorbike when I got it, and one was even missing, so I'm gonna have to round one up for it. Guys, that's it for this video. It's gonna be a short video for a short little motorbike. I would have loved to take it for a rip, but it did have this intermittent spark issue, and when they have intermittent problems, it's difficult sometimes. I'm pretty sure it's a rectifier. I'll get one ordered. And we will be ripping this thing soon. You guys just have to be patient. It'll be one more video. I hope one more. Who knows what'll happen. Guys, we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.